Welcome to the Daily Boogie.
Before we go too far, though, let's kick it off with...
Now you face the Shredder.
It's time to shred an article. This one comes to us from my good friend Joe Cosmic, who sent this through to me yesterday. Wait until you see this. Kanye West, alt-right darling. You just knew it, didn't you? You knew it was going to happen. Yes. Kanye West. He's basically a neo-Nazi now. Look, they even got a picture of him in a white shirt as well. It's got to be the white shirt. All he needs is a hood over that white shirt to make the illusion come full circle. From the Washington Post, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the best I've seen. Kanye West was having a great weekend until he wasn't. Because, you know, it was so horrible what happened to him. The outrage, ladies and gentlemen, the outrage that Kanye West created on the left, his people who thought he was their comrade, and then it turns out he's just another alt-right Pepe the Frog-kissing Nazi KKK member. Oh dear. One moment, the rapper, producer, entrepreneur was dispensing pearls of Pseudo Philosophy on Twitter to the retweets of adoring observers. The next, many of those same admirers had turned to denouncing him instead. Oh, and he had become an alt-right darling. Just like that. Just like that. See, I think it's glorious when people say, you know, if you say something like the left is fundamentally intolerant on platforms such as Twitter, and they'll laugh at you and go, no, that's not the case. That's not the case. No, we aren't shallow. No, we aren't flippant. No, we don't turn on people if they don't agree with us. One tweet from Kanye West and he's become an alt-right darling. Like, I would think if you've built up enough cred, then you can be allowed a couple of instances of tweeting something that other people might find edgy or whatever. It's like, no, just one tweet, bang, you're out there. That's it. You've become a racist now. Don't you just love it? Whatever West is going through at the moment, the response to his Twitter spree reveals more about the people who have fled from him and those who have flocked to him too. Ah, yes. See, that's the other thing we're building here in this article. Whatever West is going through at the moment, he must be having a nervous breakdown. He must be going crazy. Why else would he do this on Twitter? Why would he say he supports the president? He must be going mental. This is the only reasonable explanation that we here at the Washington Post can come up with. He must be going crazy. West's fortunes reversed when he expressed his admiration on Saturday for Red Pill YouTuber Candace Owens, an African-American Donald Trump supporter known for, among other things, referring to Black Lives Matter protesters as whiny toddlers. Whiny toddlers pretending to be oppressed for attention. The following day, he tweeted 9 videos from Scott Adams, count them, 9. Not 10, not 8, but 9, who gained his fame for first creating the cartoon Dilbert and second for proclaiming that rape is a, quote, natural instinct of men and a society, quote, virtual prison for men's natural desires. You know, the more I see articles in the Washington Post, New York Times, various like-minded outlets claiming that someone is basically a rape apologist and the evidence for said claim being literally 2 words that are quoted from a perhaps 5 to 1,000 word blog, the more I realize that these kinds of tactics and journalistic integrity are just going to keep on going strong. Like, this is what they're learning in the universities, ladies and gentlemen. And you should be happy about it. This is top-notch journalism here. Let's say that Scott Adams is a rape apologist by quoting 2 words. They're like, done, move on. It's easy to cast West as just another lost man seduced by the far right's promise to provide a sense of purpose. See, with that, I'm actually with them on that. It is easy to cast West as just another lost man seduced by the far right's promise to provide a sense of purpose. It's easy to suggest a lot of things about the quote-unquote far right. It's incredibly easy to write this garbage. You have no idea. It writes itself. It's incredibly easy to suggest that Scott Adams is some kind of rape apologist. Tom Chatelet suggesting that I'm a rape apologist as well. Brilliant stuff. It's incredibly easy to do. So I agree with them there. All that pseudo philosophy does suggest a preoccupation with the sort of existential problems figures such as psychologist Jordan Peterson, who has become a surprise lifestyle guru, claim they can solve. That is a monumental straw man right there. Pseudo philosophy, Jordan Peterson, lifestyle guru, claims he can fix the problems of the far right. Don't you just love it? It's also possible to connect West's eccentric behaviour on Twitter. Now he's eccentric. Now he may have always been eccentric, but now it matters, you see. This isn't the first time his forays into politics have discomforted some fans to the mental health struggles that led to his 2017 hospitalisation. Or it could be that West is cloistered in a world of wealth away from the realities of racism that motivated incidents like his declaration on live television after Hurricane Katrina that, quote, George Bush doesn't care about black people. He may be too preoccupied with his image of himself as a truth teller to recognize that the unconventional communication style he finds so attractive in Trump is just a way to cover up lies. Just covering up lies, ladies and gentlemen. That's the whole point here. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know he's now helping the far right cover up lies. In any case, ascertaining why West thinks what he thinks is probably as fruitless as finding meaning in the bromides he's been offering up in the past few days. Yeah, okay. See, they're literally coming out and telling you. The Washington Post author is literally coming out and telling you, don't worry about trying to figure out what West is thinking. That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. He's covering up lies. He's going crazy. He's turned to the far right. He has no natural instinct, and it's just an unhinged Twitter spree. Don't look any further. Don't look any further. Don't consider things any deeper than that. That's it. Literally. Ascertaining why West thinks what he thinks is probably as fruitless as finding meaning in the bromides he's been offering up in the past few days. It might be more useful to examine what the reaction to West's provocative tweets reveals about the left and right alike. Here we go. The progressives first. West's more typical fan base greeted his return to Twitter with breathless engagement. The jilted lover. The jilted lover, ladies and gentlemen. Ras Dustin says, did Jeff Bezos' robot dog write that? But the moment West expressed his approval of Owens, Liberals recoiled. Eager to signal their lefty credentials, they withdrew their support the moment West went against the party line. Then there's the right. alt and otherwise. Most conservatives had less interest in West's work, and they certainly didn't like it when he condemned Bush. But now a lineup of luminaries on the right has assembled to defend West against the liberal hordes. Where Alex Jones once called West a microcosm of America's degeneration, he now praises his bold moves against the thought police. Where Bill O'Reilly once described West as a, quote, disease, the former Fox host on Sunday decried the attack against him by American Stalin. See, what this author, I think understands but is pretending not to understand is what people, not necessarily on the right, but free speech advocates have been saying for a long time. That is, I don't care what your opinion is, you have a right to say it. Right? This is actually evidence of that. These people do not like Kanye West. They're not fans of him. What they're talking... See, that means it's more relevant because they're coming out and saying, good on you for standing up against the authoritarian streak of the left on social media. Good on you for not becoming a victim of the thought police. Even though I think that you're a degenerate and an evil hip-hop star and everything you do is disgusting, that doesn't matter. Because free speech comes first. The way this author's trying to frame it is, oh, they're all hypocrites. They're all hypocrites. Because they said before that they don't like him, and now they're saying that it's great that he's speaking out. They're hypocrites because in the world of the left authors of the Washington Post, identity comes first, not principle. So if you like him, you're allowed to defend him. If you don't like him, you're supposed to attack him. These people don't like Bill O'Reilly and Alex Jones. They don't deserve free speech, you see. I've always hated Alex Jones, therefore I'm within my right to ask for his removal from social media. He should be condemned, always. If Alex Jones came out and, like he did like a couple of weeks ago, and say the most horrendous things about Donald Trump, they'd all be going, well, I don't care. I've always hated Alex Jones. Bullshit. They'd all be cheering, patting him on the back. Yay! Look at him go. So this author doesn't get the point. I think the author does, but they're just cleverly hiding it. These reactions typify the left and right's relationship to celebrities. Progressives can easily pivot away from any public figure who makes him or herself toxic. Toxic Kanye. That should be the name of his next album, Toxic. Like West and country artist Shania Twain. After all, plenty of other popular personalities do align with their politics. It's not as if progressives are wanting for representatives among the culturally influential. The roster of pro-Trump celebrities in 2016, on the other hand, would hardly sell out a festival. When Roseanne Barr is your headliner, you have a serious PR problem. See, now we've got to throw Roseanne under the bus as well. She hasn't even done anything. Don't you just love it? It's no wonder the prospect of signing a star as big as Kanye West led so many former foes to forget they'd spent years disdaining him. In short, the right is desperate for an avatar, and West seems like a good get, especially given his popularity among black audiences. Wow. Woo! Yes! Preach it, baby. The only reason that these people, these hypocrites on the right who have hated Kanye for years, they just want a celebrity in their ranks who's more famous than Roseanne Barr. Type that shit up. Get that shit to press right now. Get that on social media. The people need to hear the truth. Lady Fritza says, and the celebrities of entertainment are the leaders of politics. Exactly. Oh, Willy the Goat just came on. Sorry, guys, don't let me keep you from the goat. In the end, the Weekends West affair was a very public display of people using other people. West was hyped up at his announced album even further with the publicity he gained from courting controversy. Liberals have shown off their willingness to enforce ideological purity, no matter who the offender is. Oh, what? Isn't that lovely of them? Like, they should be applauded for enforcing ideological purity. This person is unironic. Like, thank you, Liberals, for enforcing ideological purity over people. Thank you for being so tolerant that anybody who steps outside the tolerance vessel needs to be untolerated to death. Yes. Thank you for enforcing ideological purity so I don't have to think about things. That's really the best part about being a progressive these days, is someone else is doing the thinking for you. You're very privileged. Thought privileged. And the far right has demonstrated once again, see, it's just liberals versus the far right. Anybody who comes out and says, well, you know, good on him for standing up for what he believes in. You're now on the far right, ladies and gentlemen. I bet you didn't even know. Lois, thanks for joining us. I mean, after all, Kanye is the alt-right darling. But you're now on the far right. The far right demonstrated once again that they're willing to flip-flop at the slightest sign that they might be able to land a mainstream celebrity recruit. Yes. It is absolute genius, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute genius. Once again, just to reiterate, people like Alex Jones and Bill Riley, who have been on the record as saying they don't like Kanye West, are standing up for his right to free speech. This proves that people on the far right are just hypocrites trying to land a celebrity regardless of whether they like him or not. Not like those honourable liberals, ladies and gentlemen, who are willing to enforce ideological purity no matter who the offender is. We should be more like the liberals and less like those far-right, alt-right bigots standing up for things like free speech. Ladies and gentlemen, that was...
Now you face the Shredder.
Shred that baby up. Don't you just love it? I think it's fantastic. I mean, people with free speech principles have been saying for the longest time, you know, I don't want to shut down anybody's speech, right, left, or otherwise. In fact, I would go, I'm more of a free speech absolutist. I want the most disgusting, the most heinous, the most offensive speakers on, like, primetime news. Like, put them up there. If you're worried about, say, like a hate preacher who wants to cut off people's heads and genitals and stuff, put them on prime time. I want to see that interview on Don Lemon. Don't you? I want to see that guy on Brian Stelter. Yes, we believe that we will kill all the Westerners and dip them in oil until they explode. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming on the Stelter Show, ladies and gentlemen. That's just lovely. Why? Because the only way that you can get together around your own ideas is to be exposed by someone else's. Exposed to someone else's.